Lagos, the city of dreams, was a place where wealth and status dictated one's place in society. In this vast metropolis lived Jerry Okafor, a man who believed he had conquered the world. With his numerous businesses spread across the city and a fleet of expensive cars at his disposal, he saw himself as untouchable. He was a man who could afford anything except love. Jerry had a reputation for being ruthless in business and reckless in his personal life. Women were nothing more than accessories to him, and he had no interest in commitment. However, 5 years ago, he did something unusual. He married Tessie, a cleaner who worked in one of his offices. Tessie's mother had passed away, leaving her destitute with no family to turn to. She was vulnerable, and Jerry, feeling a strange mix of pity and obligation, took her in. But inside, he knew the truth. He had only married her because he felt sorry for her, not because he loved her. Despite this, Tessie was a devoted wife. She prayed daily for their marriage to flourish and for the blessing of children. But after 5 years of waiting and countless medical consultations, she remained childless. Meanwhile, Jerry continued his reckless lifestyle, drinking, partying, and entertaining different women without a care. A shocking discovery. One day, Tessie decided to visit the hospital for another checkup. She was beginning to feel different, tired, dizzy, and strangely hopeful. The doctor, Dr. Williams, conducted some tests and later injected her with what he thought was routine medication. Tessie left without any suspicions, but 2 weeks later, she noticed significant changes in her body. Curious and eager, she took a pregnancy test. When she saw the 2 lines confirming her pregnancy, she screamed in joy. For 5 years, she had longed to hear such news. She couldn't wait to share it with Jerry. Dressing in her finest outfit, she rushed to his office, eager to surprise him. But nothing could have prepared her for what she saw. Betrayal in broad daylight. As she pushed open the door to Jerry's private office, she froze. There, in the arms of another woman, was her husband, kissing passionately, lost in their world. But it wasn't just any woman, it was Ruth, her best friend. Tessie's heart shattered into 1,000 pieces. She wanted to scream, but before she could, Jerry turned to her with a smirk, his arm still wrapped around Ruth. "What are you doing here?" he asked nonchalantly. I came to tell you something important," Tessie stammered, feeling her knees grow weak. Jerry scoffed. "Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You're just a barren woman. A tree that bears no fruit." Ruth laughed wickedly, placing a hand on her stomach. "What you couldn't give him in 5 years, I'm giving him now," she taunted. Tessie's vision blurred with tears. Just then, her phone rang. It was the doctor. "Mrs. Okafor, please come back to the hospital immediately. There's been a terrible mistake," the doctor said urgently. Numb and broken, Tessie turned and walked away, ignoring Jerry and Ruth's mocking laughter behind her. A life-changing revelation. At the hospital, Dr. Williams looked at her nervously. "Tessie, I made an error," he confessed. Her heart pounded. "What kind of error?" He hesitated before saying, "I mistakenly injected you with the sperm of a wealthy man who had been seeking a surrogate for years. His wife left him out of frustration, and he decided to have a child through surrogacy. The contract was clear: the surrogate would carry the child and leave once the baby was born." Tessie's hands trembled. She thought about what she had seen in Jerry's office, the cruelty of his words. "What do I do now?" she whispered. The doctor sighed. "The father of the child, JKC Global, is a powerful businessman. If he finds out about this mistake, I could lose everything." Tessie took a deep breath. "I'll do it. I'll carry the child. But only if he accepts me as the surrogate." As they spoke, a knock came on the door. The doctor opened it, and there stood a tall, imposing man, JKC Global himself. His deep, authoritative voice filled the room. Has the process been successful? Tessie stood, extended her hand, and forced a smile. Yes. Congratulations. I'm carrying your child. JKC barely looked at her. He turned to the doctor. Make sure she reads the contract before signing. And with that, he left. His PA, however, shook her hand. Congratulations, he said. Tessie clenched her fist. Why is everyone congratulating me? Am I not the one doing them a favor? The final goodbye. That night, Tessie returned home only to find Ruth sitting at the dining table, eating as though she were the lady of the house. You slut! Tessie shouted, pointing at her. Ruth smirked. What you couldn't give your husband, I'm giving him. Jerry laughed, his voice dripping with mockery. You're just a dry plant. I can't stay with a barren woman forever. Tessie felt the tears, but she refused to cry. Instead, she filed for divorce the next morning. When she handed the papers to Jerry, he laughed. I've been waiting for this moment, he said, signing without hesitation. Now pack your things and leave. As Tessie packed, she whispered, I hope this baby Ruth is carrying is truly yours, because I already know you can't father a child. As Tessie stepped outside, a convoy of expensive black SUVs pulled up. JKC Global stepped out. I have all your details from the doctor. You will be under my care until the baby is born, he said firmly. Tessie threw her wedding ring at Jerry and entered the car. Jerry turned to Ruth. Does this mean she already found another man? Ruth laughed. That's impossible. Someone like him would never pick someone like her. But Jerry wasn't so sure. The tables turned. JKC Global's mansion was a world of luxury Tessie had never known. Unlike Jerry, he treated her with respect, ensuring her every need was met. Meanwhile, Jerry's life crumbled. At J.K.C. Global's birthday party, he fought Tessie thinking she came uninvitedly to spy him. Jerry was sacked from J.K.C. Global Company and his life never remained the same. Ruth got tired of him as money was not coming in the way it was before. One day, Ruth confessed, Jerry, you're not the father of my child. I was only using you for money. Jerry's world shattered. Ruth left him that same night, and without his connections to JKC's company, he struggled financially. He thought about Tessie, her kindness, her patience, the way she had loved him despite everything. And for the first time in his life, Jerry felt true regret. A love meant to be. Desperate, Jerry searched for Tessie and finally found her at JKC's mansion. At the gate, he pleaded, Tessie, please forgive me. I want you back. JKC, standing beside Tessie, asked, who is this man? Tessie smiled bitterly. Just someone from my past. She turned to Jerry. I prayed for you. I waited for you. But you threw me away. JKC placed a protective arm around her. She's with me now. And she's loved. Jerry watched as the gate closed on him, leaving him alone with his regrets. Months later, Tessie gave birth to a healthy baby boy. JKC had fallen deeply in love with her and married her. Together, they built a family filled with love, something Jerry would never know again. And so, Tessie, once abandoned and mocked, became a queen in her own right. Meanwhile, Jerry, the man who had once thought he had everything, learned what it truly meant to have nothing. The end. Moral lessons from the story. 1. Never marry out of pity. Marriage should be built on love, respect, and understanding. Jerry married Tessie out of pity, not love, and in the end, their marriage crumbled. 2. Karma is real. Jerry mistreated Tessie, and in the end, he lost everything, including his wealth and dignity. Ruth, who betrayed Tessie, also got what she deserved. 3. A good heart will always find happiness, Tessie remained kind, patient, and prayerful despite her suffering. Eventually, she found love and happiness with JKC. 4. Infidelity destroys homes. Jerry's unfaithfulness led to the collapse of his marriage. Cheating on a loyal partner can have lifelong consequences. 5. Don't look down on anyone. Tessie, once a poor cleaner, later became the wife of a billionaire. Life can change at any moment, so never underestimate anyone. 6. A real man values and supports his wife. JKC proved to be a true partner, supporting Tessie and treating her with love and respect, unlike Jerry. 7. Regret comes too late. Jerry only realized Tessie's worth after losing her. We should appreciate what we have before it's too late. 8. God's plan is greater than human plans. Tessie thought her life was over after Jerry's betrayal, but God turned her pain into joy by making her the mother of a billionaire's child and later his wife. 9. True wealth is not just about money. Jerry had money but lacked love, peace, and loyalty. In the end, he became lonely and miserable, proving that material wealth alone does not bring happiness. 10. Stay strong in difficult times. Tessie endured heartbreak and betrayal but didn't let it break her. Instead, she moved on and built a better life. Strength and perseverance always lead to better things. Thank you and remain blessed.